Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first podcast of Rally Collective. It's been a project in my mind for a really long time, and today I'm happy to have Bill Westhead, the president of the CRC, with me, and also Jason Nugent, uh, who has been a rally photographer for many years, especially in the CRC, ARA, but also some of the WRC event. Bill, on his end, has been co-driving for a couple of years, I think 9 years.
But 9 or 10, yeah. In the early part of
Yeah,
the 2000s, yeah.
there you go. I looked at your EWRC profile before, and for my part, I'm working a lot with the rally teams all year long and the CRC to do the social media, the marketing, the article on the website, and also some sponsorship works. So I'm Fred. So today we just wanted to talk about the 2026 season. It's going to start in just 2 weeks with Rallye Personnage. There's a lot that is going to be interesting to watch this season. We have newcomers, but also people coming back that have not been racing in the last 2 years. So we talked to a lot of the teams in the past few days, and we have some news for you guys.
Great, exciting. Look forward to it.
Yeah. Bill, do you want to go ahead maybe with the CRC events?
Yeah, I can start by saying I'm actually the president of the Canadian Association of Rally Sport, who is the rights holder and organizer on the broad level for the rules and structure for the Canadian Rally Championship. And as Frederic well knows, the Canadian Rally Championship is the longest national motorsport series in Canada. It has been going on nearly 40 years. And our organization this year, it's our 35th anniversary. There are plenty of other so-called national series. Few of them cross the country. Apart from maybe Superbike, I don't think any of the CAS car or sports car series go beyond Ontario, Quebec, and maybe the odd excursion into the Maritimes. The CRC is a truly national series with 3 events in Western Canada, 1 event in Central Ontario, and another 4 in Quebec. All many long-serving events with more than 20 years under their belt and experience. So we look forward to an exciting year of competition once again.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said at the beginning, it's going to start with Rallye Personnage in Maniwaki, as always. Jason has a lot of great, great.
I loved Personnage. It's I think the first time I rolled up on Personnage, my first experience with Personnage was getting stuck in the recce queue for Kittigan-Zibi by accident. It was the day before the actual rally started, and I went out just to get kind of pick my own spots for photos so I can submit my media plan, and realized that I was all of a sudden on a road that was only as wide as my car with some very fast rally drivers in front of me and behind me, and I had no place to stop or turn around and get out of there. So I ended up doing pretty much all of that stage and most of Tortue afterwards as well before I could kind of catch my breath and get out. It's always a great event. I think most of that rally happens in the dark. By the time you get going it starts in the dark. The first stage is usually right around sunrise and stuff like that. And then by the time you get in the afternoon and the forest stages start, which is really the bulk of the rally, the sun is already setting and you're not really back at podium until close to midnight in some cases. So it's a fantastic event, and it's always very cold. And looking at the weather this week, there's snow in the forecast, and I think it's minus 40 there right now, or it was this morning. So good luck, everybody.
Yeah. Last year I went for the first time to Rallye Personnage and experienced a lot of what Jason has highlighted. It's a great event with incredible energy from the local community. We even met when we were doing the course exploration, trying to get into spectate during one of the stages. The control marshal who flagged us down at the start of the stage was the mayor from the local community. And he was out there all bundled up in his parka and just talking to us, and we were thanking him for allowing us to race on his roads. And yeah, it's a great feeling, great event. Start off the calendar.
Yeah, perfect. After that, there's going to be both events in Western Canada. So we'll have the Rocky Mountain Rally first of all. And then after that, the week after, we have the PFR. They've been doing these events back to back for a few years now. And yeah, it's really great. I think a lot of teams go for the 2 events, and
Absolutely. It goes back until my start as a co-driver when there were 2 events in Alberta, the Bighorn Rally near Edmonton and Rocky Mountain when it was held in Alberta proper. Teams from Quebec would come out and spend like 10 days or 2 weeks as kind of a holiday and do the event in Edmonton and then drive down to Calgary for the Rocky Mountain event. And in fact, that's how I got my feet wet co-driving for Eric Tremblay number 2. who was there with Jean-Marc Alcaraz and Shirley Normandin in their Mazda 323. These are the years of the Tom McGear and Frank Sprongel battles for the CRC. So
Sean
having
Bishop
the two events close together is really beneficial for Eastern competitors.
Bill, you probably got to see Sean Bishop rally in those years too, right? He would have been in his Mazda at the time, wouldn't he be? I think somewhere around then.
He was at the tail end. At that point, he was the organizer actually for Rocky Mountain. So 98, 99, he was organizing.
I've never, I've been to both those events, but I've never been out there since the calendars put them so close together a week apart. As much as I like Powderface, I'm glad the Rocky Mountain Rally is back in Invermere just because of the road variety. It's a little more interesting from a media perspective.
From competitors' point of view. Yeah. I have yet to go to Invermere, but I hear great things about the roads.
Oh, it's lovely.
And then, of course, PFR, I was part of the revival when it was organized, and it's had on and off again years just due to weather, forest fire, floods. Weather happens. We've seen that across the country especially last year, several events were hit hard by weather events.
Merritt doesn't seem like it can catch a break. It's had a really rough couple of years with flooding and so you might know, have any of the roads been changed, or the rally course has changed since then? Has any of this stuff, are there new stages because of what's happened?
It's a mix of things. There's ongoing resource extraction and exploration, so roads open and close all the time when that happens. I don't think any roads were lost due to washout. Actually, sorry, the top part of Helmer, which is a classic 25 stage, was altered during that atmospheric flood when the highway was wiped out. And so that route has changed slightly, but they still get the good 20K run up and down the hill there. And there's a huge network of roads. The rally master, Paul Westwick, has lots of options, and it's always an exciting event. Their biggest challenge has always been finding the sweet spot between the melting of the winter snow and the onset of forest fire season. And so this year they're going to try and mitigate some of the dust issues that the rallies experienced with water trucks or other treatments to try to keep the dust down for competitors. But it's always been a hugely popular and challenging event for the teams, and people who make the trip generally appreciate the scenery and the host city and everything about it.
Go ahead, Brad. I was going to make one more comment. I'm just curious to see. I was just going to ask if, with the events so close together, do you find teams who are in it for the national title maybe take it a little easier on the first event to make sure they don't wreck their car or break their car to get ready for PFR afterwards?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. We had a number of teams in 2023 forget that and damage their cars seriously on the Rocky Mountain weekend, and we're about to throw in the towel and kind of burn the midnight oil to, let's say, find someone who could weld an oil sump for a Ferrari V8 that was in a Subaru.
Oh, and Sam.
Tanver Dean unfortunately found a tree, and I don't recall if they rebuilt his car or they had another one in the shop that they pulled out. But, a couple of teams were bitten badly that year. And it's just a reminder to teams, you're not going to win the rally by going off the road in any event. And definitely if you're in it for the long haul for the series, you got to drive to finish. And you might need to take that second or third place when you're battling for the lead instead of risking crashing and getting no points for all your efforts. So.
That's true. Fred, I remember when Nicholas Lavardiere was out there with you, and he rolled his car and they needed a windshield so fast overnight. That was Rocky Mountain Rally a couple of years ago. Was it 2018? I think it was. It was more than a couple of years ago. 17. Okay. Yeah. That was.
It was so great. Everybody was really ready to pitch in. Patrick Sherd was pushing Nick to just rebuild the whole car during the night with his whole team and just make it happen. The end, it was. He had just crashed at Persège and then another crash. So we wanted to make sure the car was okay before starting. But yeah, the rest of the season was a bit better. But yeah, for sure, you have to, like Terry Epp said so many times, first to win a rally, first you need to finish or something like that.
Exactly.
You wish to finish first. First, you must finish. Yeah.
There you go. That's exactly.
Stay on the road. First rule.
Yeah. After that, we're going to have the Rallye Bélais Chaleur in northern Quebec. For sure, that's always a big one for us in Quebec, but it's always a big party. Teams really like it. I'm not sure this year if it's going to be a NACAM event. We talked to the event, I think it was last week, and they were not sure yet. But for sure, teams like Ricardo Cordero is going to come there for sure. They always love this event. I think they came for 10 years now to this event. So yeah, always a big party there.
That event has great energy, and they do a great job on the production. You can see, in spite of the torrential downpour, the rain on the ceremonial start last year, people were just jumping with the music, the lights, having a great time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Rallye Bay de Chaleur is my home event. I live in New Brunswick, so for me, it's one of the few ones that I can drive to, and it's not a big deal. I kind of feel bad for everybody out in Western Canada, but I get it the other way, I guess. I love the event. It's like it's always Canada Day weekend or close to Canada Day weekend, and there's just thousands of fans, and the spectator areas are crammed full of people, and you get all that great energy. It almost feels I've done my fair share of ARA events as well, and like the Camp Rallye. I mean, kind of sounds like Bonfire Alley a little bit, It's pretty great from that perspective.
Oh yeah, for sure. You always have three stages at night. With it always rains for some reason. It always rains, so there's mud all over the place. There's mosquitoes all over the place also. But everybody is there having fun and watching cars in the woods.
They've done some really innovative things over the years too, with activations of fans and local promotions. Last year, I believe they had a on-site video relay, so fans at Camp Rallye could see the cars coming from a few kilometers away. They had a live feed, if you will, from down the road, pre-stage, up the road to where they entered Camp Rallye, so it keeps the fans entertained and aware and engaged in the exciting event.
After that, we're gonna have Rallye Défi, which was my home event, but now it's gonna be a bit more close to Quebec City. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how things change, because it was Rallye de Beauce, but then it's gonna be Rallye Défi there this season. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they can take the original rally and create like a national rally with it. But the organization is going to be solid there, and they already have a lot of partners in the area. There's a lot of business that want to be partnered with the event, so it's going to be interesting for sure.
It'll be a very interesting change. I have to say, Yannick Lefebvre is an experienced organizer with lots of passion for the sport, and I know Défi, when it was held near Montpellier, there's a Montpellier area has grown over the years to be a very popular holiday destination, and the timing of the event at the end of summer near Labor Day weekend makes it tough with all the non-rally users. They've also been hit by weather events, like a lot of rallies. And so the event is looking to change it up a bit, and Yannick offered to bring it to the Beauce region, which has a very passionate relationship with motorsports in all its forms. As Frederic mentioned, they ran the regional event, Rallye de Beauce, for a few years, and now they're using the same network and support that they have there to bring the national Rallye Défi on board. It sounds like it'll be an exciting event, probably increase in intensity from what was happening in Montpellier, but we'll see how it runs. It's a good region is what I hear.
I'm especially interested in seeing how the fact that it's a new event is going to be the great equalizer amongst the teams, because like you take Rallye Défi, for example. Antoine Lestage probably doesn't need pace notes for Rallye Défi, but like these are new events, and everybody's going to be out there doing recce for maybe the first time. And we'll see. It's might be surprised. The podium might look quite different at the end of that one.
That's a great observation.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, we're going to have Rallye Charlevoix, also another great event. They changed a bit the roads in the last few years, so we might see also some surprises there. It's always a great event, and you never know what weather you're going to have, because everything is just changing. It can be cold, you can have snow, but it can be really hot also. You just, a bit like Tall Pines, you just bring all the tires that you have.
I was going to say, bring all your tires. I only went there once in 2002, and they got hit really badly by a snowstorm. It was an incredible event, and to see the top 9 or 10 teams who really understood the need to get it, and the rest were kind of left behind overnight. But it's a great area. Again, huge history and roads like Bataram and that come back every year. Le Malbaie is a beautiful area in the fall. And of course, you can't beat the Chateau for Rallye headquarters.
Yeah, that's for sure. After that, another old event that has been in the championship for so many years, a Rally of the Tall Pines in Ontario, in Bancroft. Another event to bring all your tires for sure. Usually it's a bit colder because it's going to be the 20th of November this season. But yeah, you don't know what temperature you're going to get. Usually it snows a bit. It's a bit icy. The roads are really cold. But like Simon Vincent is always praying to get a Tall Pines on gravel, because it's such great roads that you have there. It's really nice. There's a big jump also, so you really need to be careful with that.
Yeah, Pines Pines was always one of my favorite events. Like it feels like WRC Finland in North America, really. Like old Hastings Road is just so good to go down and see. And it's also like the story with that one is like the first time I did Pines, I didn't know anybody. And I went up and I was basically sleeping in my car. And at that point, Brian Hyland was the guy who discovered that I was sleeping in my car. And he was like, you need a hotel room. So that was my introduction to kind of working with Subaru Canada through Brian Hyland back then. So fond memories of that. That's a great event.
And you were sleeping in your Subaru. That's another good thing.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. And I remember it's a 14-hour drive for me. So the first night I slept in a gas station parking lot just outside of Ottawa in Arnprior. And I woke up and there was 15 centimeters of snow on top of the car. And then competed and just opened the passenger side door and all the snow fell in on me and then drove the rest of the way. It was a 3-hour drive from Arnprior in the morning. And it was a good time.
Epic. I'm glad you met Brian that way. He's always extended a helping hand to the community and teams. I was out there in the early years spectating. I was there for business in Ottawa, and one of my colleagues was Warren Haywood, who was a long-term Rally Sport Ontario director. He said, we got to go spectate Tall Pines. So we go out with Warren. And it's like I was not expecting to be standing in the woods minus 15 with 100 to 200 meter stretch of bonfires and people just generally feeling great and waiting for cars to come ripping by with their brake rotors glowing in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what stage that was?
I don't,
Yeah. Lots of good ones.
One of the classics, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. The last event of the season will always be the Big White Rally. I think it's your local event, Bill?
Yeah, it's a new event for me, but it came on after I had taken a break from a competition. So I never got to compete there, but the last 2 years I've been there in a working capacity as a competitor relations in 2024 and last year as the National Series manager. It blows me away that a resort of that caliber basically throws out the welcome mat and brings the rally community in at the start of the season, gives them all kinds of access, and there are a ton of great roads that almost guaranteed to have snow, as you can see over the years. It's always funny coming up from Vancouver where, it's barely cracked below 10 degrees and it's been raining for about 6 weeks. We go up into the interior where it's dry and then finally get towards the east side, of the Okanagan Lake and into the altitude, and the snow is just like 10 centimeters. Then at night, 15 centimeters falls. The next day, another 10 centimeters. So there's always fresh snow. They've done great work to open up new stages. There's a huge stage of 20 kilometers or more that is a kind of part of a dead end loop. They go down, they do this loop and they come back out again. Classic stages that I think they'll keep for the coming years. The event has been growing in popularity. We've had a lot of spectators. Of course, proximity to Kelowna makes it ideal for people who are flying in or driving in from Alberta or the Lower Mainland. So it draws an interesting spread of competitors. For the last few years, they've had quite a decent entry from the U.S., people coming up from California and the Northwest just to have a snow experience because it's a rare thing in rally.
Yeah, for sure. I think 2 years ago we had Jeff Seorn and Sam Albert that came in with just pushing in the snow with their Subaru cars. Which was nice.
Yeah, exactly. Great battles.
Yeah.
And the teams from Mexico came up last year for the first time, and they had brought Antoine Lestage as their consultant to help with the tires and strategy and whatnot. And it was amazing. There was a 16-year-old kid named Checo. He had never seen snow before. And here he comes up with a Skoda Rally 2 car to compete. And he did all right. He finished in the top 5 in the end, but great experience all around for those guys.
Perfect. So after that, we're going to talk about the different teams that are going to compete this season. We talked to a lot of the competitors, like I said, in the past few days, just to have an idea of what they were planning to do this season. Some are more vocal about it, but for sure, I talked with Ricardo Cordero, our 2025 champion in the CRC, and he's going to be there to defend his title of champion for sure this season. He really liked it. He's been competing in the CRC for a lot of years now, but last year he did all the events and really did put in the work to get his title. I think at the last event just before Big White, he was tied with Simon Vincent, and just it was a lot of great events. And now he's getting more comfortable on snow and ice.
Yeah, I'll be excited to have Ricardo and Marco back. They bring good energy. Their crew is quite lively and fun. And they are, as you see, serious competitors. They travel small. They don't have a massive 18-wheel service rig, but with what they've got, they do exceptionally well. Full respect for them to make the journey across this country multiple times and getting into the snow and testing their mettle and coming out on top. It's impressive.
Yeah, that's for sure. After that, we have Simon Vincent. He was battling with Ricardo until the end of the season, and he said to me he was gonna do what was needed for him to be a champion in 2026. So we'll see what that means, but yeah, for sure they're gonna be pushing this season again. Him and Hubert, and also all the team, all the family team, his father and mother that are always helping.
No hints. He didn't mention what he's going to do any more than that. Just that he's going to be champion this year. He's going to do what he has to do. He's always impressed me. Like Simon has always impressed me. Like the amount of performance he gets out of that car that he's been rallying up to now is phenomenal. It's I can only imagine what he would do if he was in like an R5 or something like that, and it probably wouldn't even be close. He's such a good driver.
It blows me away that his car was campaigned by his father, and it's pretty much the same model that I last raced in. I had a driver with a right-hand drive, Group N, STI RA, 20 seconds behind Pat and Antoine. It didn't matter what we did, how smooth we could be. I mean, the car was stock 300 horsepower, and we kept it reliable.
Yeah.
Simon reminds me of my ex-driver, Scott Trinder. Super smooth, super focused, and just able to pull out the extra time from dated equipment.
Yeah, it's always impressive. He actually won the Nissan Sentra Cup last season. He wanted to do both to win both championship. In the end, was not able to do it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting this season to see what can he do. He's going to be at Rallye Personnage first, and then also going out west for the 2 events back to back. After that, for sure, we'll see what he does. But if it goes well, he's going to go all in.
Did he have a plan to do the Nissan Cup again this year? Or was he focusing on Rallye exclusively?
The Nissan Cup is actually ending, I think, this year. They're not pursuing it. So I'm not sure he's going to continue, but for sure they still have the car. So they might do a couple of events or stuff like that. After that, we had an interesting car switch between Jean-Sébastien Westner, who wanted to kind of do a pause in his rally career. In the end, he's going to be at Rallye Personnage, but he sold his Ford Fiesta R5 to Sébastien Clark.
I see.
Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting to see what Sébastien Clark and Pat can do in this great rally car. They had a great Subaru for a lot of years, but really it was the dream car of Sébastien to go with the Fiesta R5. So it's gonna be interesting. Jean-Sébastien is going to be back at Rallye Personnage. He's not going to do the full season, but he rented the CAS competition Fiesta Proto.
The same car that.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quick. Well-built car.
Yeah, for sure. It's not an R5, but it's pretty close. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do because he's been rallying for so many years. He knows the road at Rallye Personnage and the condition. He's really good at mastering those. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Bill, after that, you had a note about the 4-Star Motorsport.
Yes. Those of you who follow Frank and Dan or 4-Star on social media can see they have acquired a Toyota Corolla GR. And recently, I think Dan posted photos of the cage going into the car. So I have no idea if this is for race or rally, who would run it, or if they're going to rent it. But it's an interesting project to keep an eye on because they're a championship winning team with proven credentials. I think the LeBlanc team are running a Fiesta that was put together by 4-Star, so lots of history and capability there. Will be interesting to watch and see who shows up in the driver's seat.
And before that Fiesta, the LeBlanc team were running, I believe, the Group N STI that 4-Star put together as well.
4-Star, yeah.
Well, they won their championship in. So that's very cool.
Yeah, talking about the LeBlanc brothers, we're going to talk about the two-wheel drive teams. It was really interesting to watch in the last 2 years, I think. We had some competitors running 4-wheel drive that went back to 2-wheel drive, and they're really fast drivers for sure, and also with their co-drivers. So we had the first, I think, was André and René Leblanc, which went back in the Fiesta R2T. And now they've upgraded the car to the Rally 4 specs. So they wanted really to be able to catch those fast Peugeots. So it's going to be interesting to see. They're going to be at Personnage. They might have a new livery. That's not for sure, but the car should be fast with some new parts. So it's going to be interesting to
I have
watch.
to say, they were getting every ounce of speed out of their previous version. That car was competitive with the Peugeots at Pacific Forest Rally this year. So if they are able to match the Peugeots or pass them a little bit on power, then I have seen no problem for them emerging near the top of those battles.
Yeah, that's for sure. After that, talking about Peugeot, we had Michael Arsenault also, who was really fast last year. He's not going to be at Personnage, but he's going to be at the first two Western events. And for sure, we'll see him at other events. Yeah, he was really fast in the last events he did last season, so it's going to be interesting. We also had Vincent Lalande. Bill, I think you had something about that?
Well, Vincent has been running the Peugeot now. This will be his third event, I believe, since, or maybe fourth. Because did he run Charlevoix or just Tall Pines his first event? Don't remember. He did a soft roll at Tall Pines. They got the car together and got it out to Big White in time and had a good run. He's definitely got speed, and my understanding, he is going for the Stellantis Rally Cup North America. Generally, his approach is to accumulate the maximum number of points after 6 events. They say take your 6 best results out of like 13 rallies, and then he'll pause. So at this point, he hasn't won yet, but he has shown incredible speed, and the car has definitely got potential.
He's impressed me from the first rally I saw him. Like, I think the first one it was Personnage a couple of years ago when he was in an open, it was just a Subaru, and he was competitive with Antoine. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's like you think he's a sim racer, really? I was so
he knows what he's
surprised.
doing, and he's got a good co-driver with Leah Brissette. They have a good team going. I think they'll do well.
Yeah, at that time, I think he was only 16 years old, and he did the best time overall in one of the stages. So, yeah, it was really impressive.
It's just a two-wheel drive, just generally the whole class, open two-wheel drive is just super fun to watch right now because it's becoming very packed with excellent drivers and excellent teams, and the hardware is all very similar, especially if people are moving into the Peugeots. And it's just so fun to watch because it's not like with open four-wheel drive, I find that you can end up in that category pretty easy, kind of by accident, by making a change to your car and then having to run an open class. And then all of a sudden the budget is just the sky the limit pretty much, right? But with the two-wheel drive cars, like it's just that the competitiveness is so tight and there's just so many good teams. So it makes me wonder I don't know if Chris Greenhouse is ever going to come back up here because he was a phenomenal driver to watch too for a long time.
Definitely quick. Yeah.
Won a couple of championships. I don't know how much fun he was having with the SRT. A couple of times. Like it just seems like he's either flat out and then it breaks or, tough, but he's a great driver too. Good co-driver as well.
Yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
Talking about Peugeot, we had another one this season. Last season, actually, Nicolas Laverdière, who bought the Rallye Bélais Chaleur winning car by Cal Kalberg. So, he did a test right after the event, after seeing the car winning the event overall, the two-wheel drive car. So it was impressive for sure. He did his first event at Rallye Défi with it, and sadly a big rock appeared in the middle of the roads. He had him and his co-driver Nicolas had a small excursion in the woods, but now they're just fixing the car to be back at Rallye Personnage and do a couple of events this season for sure, including for sure the Eastern event. They might go out west. They might go in the US because for the Stellantis Cup, I think you need to go at least one time in the US if you're a Canadian competitor, so something like that. That'll be interesting to see how fast can they go because at Rallye Défi, I think they were in the top 5 when that happened.
Definitely lots of potential in the car, and with the as you say, top drivers quick drivers moving into those vehicles will make it an interesting class to watch. I'm not sure if you noticed, but Rallye Personnage has 4 Peugeots on the entry list, 2 of them from the father and son, Jérôme Galpin and his son, Maxime. Maxime has done a few events last year, and Jérôme is the kind of organizer of the FJ Motorsports, and it'll be interesting to see him and his wife as co-driver at Rallye Personnage in a Peugeot.
Cool. Very nice. Another fast driver, we know his last name for sure. Charles Estage and Juliette Estage are going to be back this season with their Fiesta R2. They've been racing for a few years now, but really last year they got really, really fast in this good little car. It's not turbo, but it's been fast for sure, and it's gonna be interesting to see them get faster this season.
Yeah, Charles pulled some quick stage times right out of the gate with that car. I think as they gain experience, we'll see them competing for the top 3 and two-wheel drive consistently, not just one-off.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, a name we've seen a lot last season, well, in the past season, but especially in 2025, is Vex Motorsports from back in Western Canada. Bill, I think you talked to them.
Yeah, definitely. They're quite active in the West, from Rallycross to the Western Regional Series. And Johnny and Céline are active. They have a very healthy social media program to share the story about Rallye. I mean, that's his passion. It's not as much about self-promotion. It's really about getting more people on board, showing the back end. Recently, he went down to the Dirtfish School in Washington State here and brought along a camera crew. And the whole exercise was to document him getting instruction on and learning how to use a sequential gearbox. And so Vex Motorsports was over in Lithuania in the summer and made a partnership with Samsonas, I believe. And so they are the Canadian distributor for Samsonas sequential gearboxes and suspension. They've put that in their car. And Johnny's kind of documenting his journey as a driver, learning how to handle the equipment. And so that's really an inside story that's captured a lot of people's attention and brought some human interest stories to the competition. So I expect them to be pushing a little more this year. Their teammate, Ryan, who is known for his Ryan's Road to Rallye series, has also shown quite a lot of promise. He's a quick and smooth driver for a newbie. And I think we'll see again, as he gains experience and confidence, we'll see the results coming for both those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the channel Roads to Rallye last season, Stanley Liu was filming all of this project for them, and I think he got the rally bite because he's gonna build a Ford Fiesta rally car this season. So yeah. So they changed the name of the channel from Ryan Roads to Rallye to Gravelco, I think is the name.
Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be both of them working on their cars, doing events and everything. The moment Stanley is actually in France shooting the Rallye Monte Carlo.
Yeah, he's been posting some great reels and photos from Monte Carlo. It gives you a lot of fear of missing out there, FOMO, to be in France.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, I talked with Vincent Trudel recently. I think he did 15 events last season, including competing at events, but also helping team in the ARA championship. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what him and his co-driver Michel Miller can do this season, because they've been really fast also in the last few events they did. This week he started preparing his car. I think he still had mud from Rally Tall Pines. So let's hope he's ready, but for sure he has a rally shop in Quebec City, so he has all the equipment he needs to get the
including cleaning equipment.
Yeah, it's always good to clean everything before working on it, because otherwise you're just you have dust all over the place all the time. After that, we had the Trevor Pugnet last season. He was really pushing hard in his production Subaru STI. It was interesting to see him and Ryan get sometimes they get some top 5 results at some events. They were really getting everything out of that production class car. Sadly, they crashed in this other car at the end of the season. So let's hope they can build a car back. Maybe not this season, maybe in a year or two, but let's hope they can be back, because there were fun guys to be at the event. After that, we talked also to Boris recently. He's going to be for sure at the PFR and Rocky Mountain Rally. But also, I think in a few weeks, he's going to do the Monte Carlo historic event for the Escort Mark II. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch, maybe on his Instagram, to follow along.
Is he still, for the events at West, is he still rallying his Evo?
He has rented. Last year at PFR, he showed up with a rental, and I had an interesting discussion with him about that. Basically, Boris's philosophy has evolved from dumping lots of money into the Evo to make it competitive well past its prime, to I can save that money and spend a portion of it on a rental and have no responsibility for the car.
Yeah.
Well, obviously a lot of responsibility, but if he doesn't crash it, he'll get the top shelf equipment. And so, he did quite well. I think John Hall was co-driving him at PFR last year. So he's definitely got the bug. And I think he's more of a gentleman competitor. Will come when the stars align and, the budget is there and the timing is good, and have some fun and bring some excitement to the stages.
Yeah, for sure. Talking about gentlemen driving some appearance maybe this season. I emailed Jason Bélais, but I didn't get any reply. But yeah, let's hope we see them back this season with the Fiesta Rally 3. They've been really fast in the last years, so it's going to be interesting to see if we can see them back at some events. Last year they were at Rallye Personnage. He said he stole the Fiesta R5 Rally 5, yeah, from R5. Was it the American who was the R5 there?
Dave Wallingford?
Yeah, there you go. So he just
That's
picked
right,
the
his
car.
board.
Just stole it. Came to do an event with this car. I don't know if he was interested in buying it or just staying with his Rally 3. But yeah, for sure, they're always interesting to see in the stages, but also in the interviews, because Jason has always something funny to say.
I love the
somehow
interviews.
at Big White Rally during the spectator stage, they found the only tree stump on the rallycross course. The first stage, first night of the event, and they had to limp it back to service and fix the sump and everything underneath. Oh, to say it's rally, man. It happens.
Yeah, absolutely. After that, we had the list of comebacks this season, so it's going to be really nice to see. First I have on the list is Crazy Leo, who's going to be back in a four-wheel drive open class car. So in the last few seasons, he raced a small Ford the Fiesta Focus, but he was really, really fast. I think he did some second time overall with this car at Alpines. He also did, I believe, Rallye Personnage last season with it. But then now he's bringing back the four-wheel drives. Yeah, I don't know exactly what Cyril is bringing, but for sure he's gonna be fast and it's gonna be someone to watch at this event, because he had some bad times for sure. We've seen a lot of video of him online crashing in this electric pole.
My last memory of Leo is looking out. I was in a right-hand drive car, so it was the driver's seat for everybody else, looking out my window on a spectator stage, and Leo had gone on the stage ahead of us, and he was upside down at the Merit Merit Music Festival. They used to do a spectator stage there. His car was upside down, and we were going by, and I'm like, just go, keep it on the road. Of course, on the second pass of that event, my driver crashed on my side of the car.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So you can't win a rally on the spectator stage, but as Leo and I've experienced, you can lose it.
Absolutely. I noticed he's looking on Facebook. He's made a couple of posts where he's searching for co-drivers. He's trying to get somebody to sit in the car with him. So he's had a couple of really good co-drivers the last couple of years, I think.
Yeah, brave and experienced. I have to call out to Leo's public service. He was an incredible, stepped up when asked to come and do the course opening for Rallye Défi, and did such a great job that they brought him back for, I think it was Charlevoix. I'm not sure which event, maybe Tall Pines. He's been a great contributor, lots of experience, and great ambassador for the sport, of course, engages people online and has a great presence. I wish him luck this year.
We also have Alex Moreau, who's going to be back this season with kind of a brand new car. He took the Subaru STI he had from Subaru Canada back in the days, and the Labrie family. But then he took the new shell, which was all brand new, and took all the parts, put in the new shell. So it's pretty much a brand new car with, I think, a refresh of pretty much everything. I'm not sure about the engine, but all the electric wiring and everything is new. So should be reliable. See, let's hope he can do well at the Rallye Personnage. After that, in two-wheel drive, Nick Woods is also supposed to be back at the Pacific Forest Rally. So that's going to be for sure interesting to watch them go in their old Datsun. The sound of that car is just so amazing.
I love watching them drive. First of all, they're super competitive, just going for the overall win and the overall podium, but he's just so entertaining to watch. He's just sideways on every corner, and it's great for photography, that's for sure.
Car is so well put together. Nick is a top shelf machinist and mechanic, and the car just reflects that. It's reliable, it's quick. We missed him last year, but I think he's teased a photograph just the last 12 hours, showing his aspiration, I think, to come back this year and bring the car. We'll hope to see him at a few CRC events anyway.
Yeah. The last competitor I had on my list was Jérôme Mailloux and Philippe Poirier, who just announced yesterday that they're going to be back for at least 3 events this season, starting at Rallye Personnage. So I think they won the 2022 championship, and they're going to be back. So yeah, it's interesting to see people come back to the sport for sure.
It's going to make some of those events very interesting because you've got Cordero, you've got Mailloux, and you've got Vincent now, all going for overall wins. And, you know, like if Mailloux and Poirier do really, really well, maybe they're going to do more than 3 events. Maybe they'll try to go for the championship. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. I think that test racing is going to be ready for them. That's for sure. They always have a few cars laying around.
I always love watching like we're off to the rally photos and it's always like these huge car carriers with like 5 or 6 rally cars on them. Like,
yeah, there were some inspiring shots last year, them coming through the Rocky Mountains and with
yes,
the tow rig and the second vehicle. I saw them on the way home from Personnage last year, going down the highway from Ottawa to Montreal. And it's not just the one big rig. They've got like 2 now. There's a Mini-Me and a Maxi all together. It's a great group.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the competitors review. Let's see for this season. For sure, there's a lot of people that we didn't mention that are gonna be there. Just follow the CRC, and we'll try to show everything that is interesting for us to talk about at the event. There's gonna be new sponsor maybe this season also. We're in the talks with a couple of them. So thank you for everybody that supports the championship.
Well, I can share that Pirelli is returning for 2026. They've been a great partner over the years and stepped into the main spotlight last year. So a good success last year, and Pirelli is keen to repeat. So they'll be continuing on as the official tire of the Canadian Rally Championship.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know what brand I'm gonna buy this season for my car.
I literally need new tires for both of my cars right now. So there you go.
I hear you.
Yeah, there you go. I always try to encourage the companies that sponsor what I like. So let's say F1, WRC, CRC for sure. I'll try to encourage these brands. Good. Anything else, guys?
No, I'm happy to participate in this. And if you want to do a mid-season check-in, I make myself available once again, Fred. I wish you luck with your podcast.
Likewise.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you in the next episode.
All right, Jason, I hope to see you out there on the stages.
You will. Talk to you later.
Take care, guys.
Bye.